Alright, so in this video I'm going to be going over the basics of Premiere Pro, how to make simple cuts, how to import your video clips into Premiere, and so forth. Okay, so let me start actually from the beginning. I'm going to go ahead and close this project out. Oops, wrong thing. So of course you go and find Premiere Pro. Should be under Adobe Creative Suite, and then you'll look for Premiere Pro. And then to start at the beginning, you're going to click on New Project. If you've already started your project though, you'll go to Open Project. That was just there, and then you'll look for your project where it is in your files. Okay, so you want to pay attention to this part here where it says Location and where you're saving it to. So you'll hit Browse, and you'll want to go, if you're trying to save it to your P drive on the computer at school, you'll need to hit Computer, find your name, and then go under there. You don't just want to go here. That's sometimes how your files get lost. Okay, so make sure you're going under your name, or you're going to some type of jump drive. Okay, and then you'll just hit Select Folder, and then where it says Name, you're going to title it. And then you just click OK. Now in this one, it already kind of popped up to the one that I was last there. So this is exactly what I want. 1080 is the correct screen resolution that I want, because it's gonna fit, it matches the resolution of the cameras that we shot with, so we don't have to do any resizing or anything. So what you'll do is, if you hit the little drop down arrow under this third folder where it's labeled AVCHD, and then you'll go to the second folder that's 1080p, and you'll choose the second one down there, which is AVCHD 1080, and that's P24 for 24 frames per second. Okay, sequence 1, you'll leave that the same, and then you just hit OK. Give it a second. It'll load your screen, which should look kind of like this. And basically we kind of talked before about what you're looking at here. So down here you have your timeline, which is kind of where you'll be eventually moving all your videos to and doing the edits and the cuts and things. The black box here is kind of like your screen, your TV screen. So this is where you'll see it as you're making the cuts. You'll be able to actually watch it and stuff like that over here. This section over here we'll use to preview clips before you drag them over to the sequence. You'll also use this later when it comes to mixing audio, as well as controlling transitions and effects and so forth. That's all done over here. And then down in this bottom box is kind of like your storage bin. Well, there's several things over here. Right now we have it on the bin part, which shows our sequence, which is right here, and also all of the clips that we'll import. And then here are different areas we can get to our effects from here. Also transitions are here, and so forth. Okay, so let's go ahead and import our clips. To import, you can do it a couple different ways. You can either go to File, Import, and then select all the ones you want and click Open, or you can simply open your files. Where do I have these? And these are all the files that I want right here. I'm going to do Control A to select them all, and then I can just also drag them right down here into the bin that way. So there's a couple different ways to import footage. Okay, so now that's imported. You want to make sure you kind of deselect that, because when I selected all of those, they were all selected. So if I went to drag one of them in, it would do that. Okay, so we'll start first with titles. Since we want to start with the title, we don't want to just start off with the actual clip of the videos. We want to start with an actual title. So to create a title, I'm going to go to Title, new title, and there's a couple options. So default still will just give you a kind of blank screen, and then you would have to type in whatever it is that you want to you know, have on your title screen. So if it's, you know, for this purpose, since we're doing the immersion video, welcome to the immersion video, whatever. I mean, that was obviously a stupid title, but whatever you were putting there, that's what will go there. Okay, you can also use one of the defaults, so they have tons of templates in here as well. To do that, you go to title, new title, and based on a template, and this will pull up all of the templates that they have stored in here. So they have different ones. The ones that are low, those are for titles as far as showing people's names when they're being interviewed. So we don't want that style. We want something that's more full. So they have a cute little under education, I think. I'm going to go with the little, maybe I'll do the blocks, although it seems a little cheesy in elementary. I think I'll go with the blocks. And then I'm just going to name it because I'm super organized like that and like knowing what's over in my bin. So I'm going to name it opening title, so that way I know what it is. And then I hit OK. Then it'll pull you into here where you can make your edits. Okay. If it's not big enough, you can drag the sides out so you can see it a little bit better. So what you'll do is basically you're going to click, and the tools are kind of similar to Photoshop. It's the same company, so of course things look the same. So you want to make sure you're on the typing tool, or the text tool as we remember it from Photoshop. And if you click it, you can, I clicked in the wrong spot. Click right over the where it says whatever it is you're trying to take out, and then you can type in it. Go to, and then just to show you, down here, these are some different styles that you can choose. They're already kind of created for you. Just know that the colors that you see there are the colors that it'll put here. Okay. If you want to change the color here, that's over here to the right. So I would just hit this little color box here, and then I can go in and, you know, select the color that I want it to be and hit OK, and then it changes it. Okay. Alright. Then I'm going to change this other box really quick. Ugh. Keep getting messed up there. Welcome to... You can tell I'm not really creative today with my titles. Spanish immersion. And see, if it's running off, either you have to resize it or you need to hit enter so it goes down to the next line. I'm not going to have enough room. And I'm going to make it center align so that way it looks a little bit better. Make sure this is how I want it. And then when you're done, you just simply click the X. It saves it automatically. And if you notice, it's now down here in my bin. So I want to go ahead and put it over here because this is where the movie is. So if it's not over here, it's not. Things over here are just kind of holding there. That's why I called it kind of the storage bin. It's not until they actually are over here that you have an actual, you know, video. Okay, so I'm going to click and drag it here. I think the normal default is like 6 seconds long, which can be kind of long for a title to stay up. So down here, this kind of bar here allows you to zoom in the timeline. So I'm going to zoom in. And I'm going to make this a little bit shorter. Right here is at 4 seconds or a little over 4 seconds. So I'm going to take it a little bit there. Okay, and then I can preview it. Just hit the space bar and it'll start playing. Now obviously I'll probably bring in a little bit of like some kind of sound bite to be playing with that, but for right now I'm going to leave it as it is. Then you can start bringing in your video clips. So I haven't watched these completely to make some kind of sense of how I'm bringing it, so you don't want to follow me. I mean, I watched some of them, but I can't remember what they are, so I'm just going to start with this woman just because she's here in the beginning. So I'm going to grab it and again drag it right into the timeline. You want to make sure you do not have any spaces in between there. So for instance, if there was a little bit of space there, that's basically like dead air. That's something you do not want. So if I was to play that, see, you saw that black spot in between, that's something you don't want. Okay, so you want to make sure it's right up against it so it flows from one thing to the next.
What has it been like to be?
Okay. Now, when I go to edit this, I don't want her questions in there.
What has it been like to be a parent in the Spanish immersion program? It has been a very remarkable experience.
Okay, I can see this one's going to be challenging. So let's say I want to take out the very first part. I want to take it out before she started talking. So all I'm doing right now is just basically click and dragging this toggle. And I'm paying attention to what I see on screen up here to get it right before she starts speaking. So then I'm going to, when I put my mouse right here, and see how the icon changes into like a little bracket thingamajigger, I'm going to click and drag it right over there. And then let me see, let's just preview it to make sure I have it at the right spot. Okay, so now I've made my first cut where it's going directly there. Now, of course, I want to take out that part where she's laughing and stuff. So I want to start it. I want to start it right here. But I still want to keep what's at the beginning. So I need to kind of cut in the middle. So I can't do the drag method like I just did. So what I'm going to do is call the razor tool. This is where I want it to start. So I'm going to grab the razor tool, which is right here. It looks like a razor blade. And it says razor tool when you put your mouse over it. Click it. And click right on the red line. And then I'm going to go to the end part where I want to the beginning of where I want to cut it. Which is about right there, I think. And I'm just going to hit the razor tool again. Did I not hit the razor tool? There we go. And again, hit right where the red line is. And then I'm going to grab my little selection tool. Click on that middle selection, that where I just made those two cuts. And I'm simply going to hit delete on my keyboard. Okay? Then what I can do is simply right click in this blank spot and hit ripple delete. And see, now it'll go from right there. Okay? And then I would just continue going from there. Alright? Make sure to save throughout. So save often, because sometimes computers freeze and close up, so you want to hit save. Alright, so go ahead and go to the next video, but this is kind of basically covering how to make simple cuts. We also went over titles for